M's smoke alarm screaming. Family choking on smoke. Fire started in the laundry room. The lint trap was spotless. Scrubbed clean that same week. House burned down anyway. So what actually caused this? You've probably heard, clean your lint trap your whole life. That advice isn't wrong. It's just not the whole story. The missing part is inside your dryer right now. Stick with this one house, because the answer is hiding in 4 feet of metal duct that nobody in that family ever looked at twice. The trap sits right at the front of the dryer, right where your hand can reach it. That's not an accident. It's the one part they know you'll actually clean. It catches the big stuff, the fuzz, the fibers off your sweater. Questions that sound simple and turn out not to be are the whole business of the smart side. But lint is sticky, and some of it is finer than that mesh. Some of it slips past every single cycle, no matter how clean the trap looks. It travels backward into a duct about 4 inches wide, running from the back of the dryer to a vent outside your wall. Month after month, it builds up along the inside like plaque in an artery. Nobody opens that duct to check. Why would they? The trap looked fine. Here's the mechanism nobody puts on the sticker. A dryer doesn't need an open flame to start a fire. It just needs heat, air, and fuel, sitting together long enough. Your dryer already supplies 2 of those on purpose. It's a heating appliance blasting hot air through a tube. The lint shows up for free, 1 load at a time. When that duct clogs, airflow drops. But the thermostat only tracks temperature, not airflow, so it keeps heating even as the air stops moving. Heat that should be venting outside backs up inside the duct instead. Some dryers run past 120 degrees Celsius internally under totally normal use. Compressed, dry cotton lint can ignite close to that same range. An ordinary Tuesday load of towels can put you closer to a fire than you'd guess. Fire Administration has tracked this for years. Roughly 15,000 house fires a year start in a dryer. Failure to clean is blamed in about 1/3 of them. And almost nobody has a working smoke detector in the laundry room. The one spot running over 100 degrees, several times a week. If that number caught you off guard, hit like right now. Because here's the twist the fire report actually revealed. Investigators went back to that same duct. It ran nearly 8 feet longer than it needed to, with 2 tight bends, left over from a renovation years earlier. Nobody had touched that layout since. Longer duct, more bends, more lint packed into every corner, because every turn in a pipe is a place for airflow to slow down and drop what it's carrying. Investigators measured that same stretch of pipe pulled out from behind the wall. The coating inside was thick enough to pinch the airflow down to almost nothing. Not a thin dusting. A packed, felted layer, built 1 warm load of laundry at a time for years in a space nobody ever had a reason to open. The family had no idea the shape of a pipe behind their wall could matter at all. It never crossed their minds it could matter at all. The trap did its job every single week. The 4 feet of hidden tubing behind it did not. That's the whole gap between the advice and the fire. Nobody told this family the trap and the duct were 2 separate jobs with 2 separate failure points, and only one of them was ever visible. Manufacturers slap warning labels on the machine. Fire departments run safety campaigns every October. But almost none of it mentions the duct people don't know exists. They talk about the trap, never the tubing behind it. Especially the flexible foil or plastic kind, which traps lint in every accordion ridge far worse than smooth, rigid metal ever does. Those ridges are built to bend around tight spaces, And every ridge is a little shelf where lint can sit and stay. So here's what your dryer is already telling you right now, if you listen. A load taking longer than one cycle to dry. An outside vent flap that barely moves when the machine runs. A casing that feels hot to the touch from the outside. That's not a quirky old appliance. That's the fire that hasn't started yet, warning you early, in the only language a machine has. The lint trap isn't lying to you exactly. It just does one honest job, while you assume it's doing two. It stops your clothes from shedding. And quietly, it lets you believe the whole system is safe. Go check your outside dryer vent tonight. 30 seconds. Watch the flap while the dryer runs. If it barely moves, you already know something we didn't have to tell you. Subscribe, because that family didn't skip a step. They cleaned the trap every single week. Right up until the week the fire started somewhere they never thought to look. 4 feet away, behind the wall, in the one place the lint trap was never built to protect.